I keep coming back to this idea that maybe we've been sold a lie, that once we become more disciplined, everything will click. But I have spent almost 10 years coaching ambitious people, and that is not what I've seen. It's not about discipline, it's about intention. It's about intentionally building the sustainable life that I keep talking about, one that you truly do not have to recover from. And recently, I had a realization that made me literally LOL because I have spent years helping people build these sustainable habits. But somewhere along the way, while talking about it to you, to Instagram, to my clients, I stopped letting people watch me do it. You hear me talk about consistency. You hear me talk about decluttering and capacity and your calendars, but you don't get to see me living it in real time. So that is about to change. For the next 6 weeks, I am running an experiment in my own life, and it starts today. I'm using my own coaching framework and I'm going to document it in real time. Not because I'm expecting to show you perfection or how everything should go, but because I think the process is actually where the real lessons are. And I have been missing out on showing you that. I just want to say that this video was not in the plan. This experiment was not in the plans. I thought the other day I was going to sit down with a business coach and I was going to talk about offers, talk about marketing, talk about the trajectory of what I'm doing in my coaching business. But instead, she ended up holding a mirror up to my life that I didn't even know I needed to see. She started asking me about everything I have going on right now. And I answered the way I always do. Well, I'm homeschooling my kids and I'm coaching. I'm running my photography business and I'm growing this YouTube channel. I've started getting sponsorship opportunities that I'm fielding. I'm trying to get stronger again. I'm working towards running a 5K. I'm reading more. I cook almost everything from scratch because of all of our allergies. I'm writing my books and editing the one I already wrote. I'm simplifying my home and decluttering and organizing. I'm trying to be more intentional with my time. I'm trying to be more intentional about cultivating my friendships in my life. But then she stopped me and she looked at me and she said, Kay, you know, this is not normal, right? I laughed because honestly, it doesn't feel extraordinary. This does feel normal. This feels like a Tuesday to me. It just feels like my life. But after that conversation, I kept thinking about the comments she made. Not because she thought I was too busy, but she saw something that I wasn't seeing. She saw that I have accidentally put my life into all these tiny little boxes. I have coaching, I have YouTube, I have fitness, I have motherhood, I have reading, I have photography, I own two businesses. And somewhere along the way, I started creating content and doing all of these parts of me like they were all different versions of me. They were different accounts, different strategies. I talked to different people about them, but it's not actually true because I don't have 4, 5, 6, 7 different lives. I have one beautiful, messy, full life. Sometimes it's overwhelming, but most of the time it's incredibly fulfilling. And every single version of me that she pointed out that I am attending to and putting in all these different boxes and creating content for in different ways, they all answer that same question of how do I create a sustainable life? One that is intentional, one that I don't have to recover from. She told me that what I'm doing is what my clients want to do, that I'm 10 steps ahead because I'm somehow holding all of these, but they're not under the same umbrella. I'm juggling 17 different umbrellas in the middle of a rainstorm, and other people, they wonder how to get that done too. And I think it feels like another Tuesday. It feels like a part of my life because I'm just so used to doing it. I'm not doing habits for the sake of forming new habits. I'm not being productive just for the sake of getting things done. I'm not trying to become a severely optimized version of myself. I'm out there building a life that fits me, and I'm helping others do the same thing. I want to build a life with margin to breathe, and I want that for you. I want enough flexibility to bend without breaking when real life happens because real life always happens. I want people to have enough intention behind those businesses, hobbies, goals, life things like homeschooling and cooking that they're not constantly waiting for a vacation to feel like they can breathe again. So the thought hit her and me at the same time, if this is what I coach, then why haven't I been letting you watch me live it all together? One full, messy, lived in life. Honestly, I think what she showed me is that I've had it backwards, keeping everything in its own individual box. And I must point out that my friend Jessica, who is a VA shifting into OBM, actually pointed this out to me before I started this YouTube channel. So it was her original idea, and I guess I was not ready to hear it yet, not ready to put myself out there and share my full messy life. So props to her for putting the first seed in my mind, and then to my business coach for reminding me that other people might want to see this too. Because I think the thing that makes my coaching valuable isn't that I have all the answers. It's not that I can look at your day and say you will definitely hit this habit and this habit and this habit. It's that I have spent almost 10 years now walking besides people who are trying to figure their lives out. I have watched clients fall off track. I have watched them restart. I've watched them pivot. I have watched people completely rethink what a goal is. But I have also helped them celebrate tiny wins that look like nothing to everybody else, but feel so huge when you're on that goal journey. I have watched sustainable change happen hundreds of times. And I realize that I am not any different. I am still figuring things out too. I'm still trying to get stronger and run faster. I'm still trying to be more intentional. I'm still trying to protect my capacity. I'm still learning how to rest. I'm still simplifying my own home. I'm still trying to give my kids a great childhood. I'm still building businesses. I'm still choosing the next right step instead of chasing perfection. So, why wouldn't I invite you into that process? Because I actually think that's where the coaching is. Not after everything is figured out, but right here in the middle. It's why I call it the messy middle. So, that is what my experiment is going to be, living the shift. It isn't a 6-week challenge, and it's not a glow up or me trying to reinvent myself. It's me intentionally putting my own framework into practice so you can see it. It's not because I need to prove it works. I've watched it work in my clients' lives for years, but I'm doing this now because I want to live it out publicly. I don't want it to be just my clients who get to see true change is possible. Because if I am asking you to trust me with your messy middle, then I should be willing to share mine publicly. So, over the next 6 weeks, you will see me working on my routines. Some of them that I have had, some are new. I'm starting lifting again. I'm using my new walking pad. I'm going to be tracking my macros, reading my books, continuing to simplify our home. I'm going to be growing my business, growing my YouTube, trying new ideas. I'm probably going to fail at some of them. I'm probably going to change my mind at some point, but I'm going to adjust and I'm going to learn because that is how you build a sustainable life. That's what it looks like to do that. Not glamorous, not perfect, but it is real. But I also laughed after I planned all of this and came up with this idea to live this publicly. Because in the beginning, it was just a thought. I have all these different boxes. Let's put them all together and share who Kay is and how she's in the messy middle, just like you. But what I didn't realize is that as I was creating this, I accidentally created a 6-week shift, which, if you know my coaching, I actually have a workbook, which is a do it yourself workbook through my own framework called the 6-week shift. And apparently, without even realizing it, I implemented my own framework in my life and in my planning. And that felt like a really great reminder. A reminder that this isn't a new philosophy. This is literally something that I teach day in and day out, and something I've believed in all along, so much so that I use it in my own life. I'm just finally letting you see it. If you're interested, I will link the workbook below, along with planners and trackers and things that I personally use as I'm going through an experiment or a shift in my life like this. They are resources that I generally always come back to. So I figured I would just gather them all in one place for you. But let's get into the details of what living the shift is going to be. Here on YouTube, we're zooming out. We will talk about the bigger lessons, the mindset shifts, the things I didn't expect. And we're going to do this at the midpoint and then at the end. But if you want to experience this with me in real time, maybe work on a few shifts of your own with me, or just see if I fail or if I succeed, that is all going to happen over on Instagram, my Coach K Nass Instagram. The little moments, the workouts, the morning on my walking pad while I look at emails, reading the books that have been sitting on my shelves for years, and even some body doubling sessions on Instagram Live. I'm truly excited to try that out and just see if that's helpful for anyone. You'll have some behind the scene moments, probably some pivots, probably a lot of the messy middle, because that is where living the shift will truly unfold 1 week at a time. And then every Sunday, I will be recapping my week, what I learned, what changed, what was hard, and we will be doing that over on Instagram. In a few weeks from now, we'll hit the midpoint and we'll come back here to YouTube to really flesh it all out. Because I know this from experience, the biggest shifts don't happen in one day or even in 1 week. They happen almost too slowly to notice until suddenly you look back and realize life is different now. You've made it. You've made it the 6 weeks to changing your life and living more intentionally. It's time to truly bring me and my life and this YouTube channel and that coaching business all together under one roof. I have no idea what's going to happen in the next 6 weeks. Maybe it'll be exactly what I'm hoping and planning for. Maybe it'll look completely different. Or maybe it'll just hit somewhere in the middle. But I do know this. I am working on creating a sustainable life, one that I do not have to recover from. And honestly, I think watching someone else be in the middle of that might be exactly what you need to believe that you can do it too. So, welcome to Living the Shift. I'm really glad you're here. Hit subscribe if you want to follow along with this journey, and hop off and go to Instagram after this to join me there, where I've already started posting about certain things that I'm doing. I'm looking forward to catching up with you in the midpoint, but I'll be here in between with other videos all about living a more intentional life. Thank you. See you in the next one. The printer decided to just start printing on its own. My husband is mowing, so we are just going to take a little restful break here for a few pages.